Strategy is critical. Marketing is fun. But from time to time, you just need to drive some results right now. This is Commission, the podcast where successful real estate agents, team leaders, and brokers go from chaos to freedom, from the drudgery to impact, income, and a ton of fun. So here's what I want to do today. I want to get right to it today, but we want to talk about what it takes on occasion to just drive some freaking results, to just stir up sales, get after it, create activity, and make some good things happen. Now, I will pause for just a second and say this is not a wise all-the-time approach to business, but from time to time, in the flow of strategy and growth and development and maturing and scaling and doing those things with wisdom and patience, you do from time to time need to grab the lever, pull that bad boy down, and get some freaking business going. And so here today, I've got one simple strategy to drive results right now. And broadly, that strategy is team competition, team contests. Now, I'm going to explain one very specific contest and strategy today. I cannot explain all the details to this bad boy. So if at the end you don't have everything you want and need to go drive some sales results, some review results, some brand growth results right now, click the link somewhere near this video or audio and we will find a way to provide you all the details. But for the sake of today, I'm going to give you a pretty quick episode here with some really good specifics and nuggets of a contest that we have been doing to close out a calendar year and start the calendar year with a bang, and it's going really well. Now, you could do this at any point that you had a lull in production or you just felt like your team had some extra bandwidth to throw it in one higher gear or jump a couple of gears and push for a little period of time. For us, this is about a 7-week competition, and it's our running up to Christmas, just so that we can enjoy the holidays off knowing we busted it, we drove results, and we're going to finish the year well and start the year well. So we basically called this our Christmas challenge. I borrowed the core idea from someone else that I saw do a competition. I made Grady laugh on the episode last week. By the way, I'm Todd Tramonte. Grady Dale helps us run regs. He's hanging out. His mic is completely unmuted, so you never know what he'll say.
What's up?
There it is. Wild as always. But Grady was laughing last week because I was talking about how we set up a Chuck E. Cheese in our office, and he was like, dude,
it's a Dave & Buster's.
At least a Dave & Buster's. The point here is that what we did is we put out a bunch of cool prizes. We gave them a ticket value based on activity that you would do to earn those tickets. So picture whatever you want to picture. Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz if you're old enough, or a Dave & Buster's. Basically a place where you can play games, you can do things, take on fun challenges, earn tickets, and then exchange those tickets for cool prizes.
And these tickets go from, and you can redeem them for anything from Buc-ee's Beaver Nuggets, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Or an electric scooter.
So if you're not from around Texas, Buc-ee's is the most ridiculous, gigantic gas station market place on the planet. And they're very well known for some of their snacks. We have some of those snacks. You could earn snacks within one day. You could make some calls. You could stir up some reviews. You could have a lunch with a prospective client, and you could earn some tickets for those things. You could exchange those tickets for cool snacks, Buc-ee snacks, beef jerky, some gourmet snacks, that kind of thing. Or you could start saving up for some really cool prizes like an adult stand-on electric scooter of pretty high quality, very high quality. There's a bunch of other stuff in between, and I'll name some of those things as we make our way through. That's not the critical piece here. The critical piece is as a team leader, operations director, owner, broker, whatever you want to call yourself, you're looking for ways to uniquely motivate yourself and your team to drive the results you want. So you may incentivize different outcomes, different inputs, leading indicators, the activities that we can control, the actions we can take in hopes of driving the lagging indicators: new clients signed, closing, funding, increased commission rates, increased profit, higher price points, specifically targeted geographies and things like that. So if you're paying attention to our show, I know you're smart enough to fill in some of those gaps, but I want to give you some of the structure of what we did. I basically empowered 2 leaders on our team leader and one of our marketing people / Raven fan club coordinator people. And I just said, hey, here's a budget. I want there to be really cool prizes, visible, literally sitting in the office, stacked deep, some of them Inventory. We've got NBA jerseys. We've got silly stuff like bonsai trees and like single handheld chainsaws. We have more guys than gals in our office. Not that a woman might not really appreciate a single hand chainsaw. But there's a bunch of fun stuff. There's things people could take their kids, take their spouse or roommate, things that they might just selfishly enjoy in the moment or want to save up to enjoy, take home, own, and have later. There's a bunch of stuff. But we basically said, hey, we know that the first quarter historically for our team in our market is our slowest quarter of production. So we want to finish the year really strong and set up that first quarter really, really well. And so some of the things that we wanted to drive, the leading indicators of that activity, are not going to surprise you at all. Calls, appointments set, reviews, referrals, lunches, coffees, breakfast, dinner, handwritten notes, client calls, open houses hosted, people added to the database, handwritten notes written, Christmas cards sent, and a bunch of other stuff.
And there's layers to, if you set an appointment, you get some. If they show up to the appointment, you get some. And then if they signed, so you can stack multiple of these.
Yeah. So basically, if you like set an appointment and closed and funded all of that within our 7-week contest, you're going to get tons of tickets. I think the highest ticket redemption item we have is 1,100 tickets.
Yeah.
And the highest single ticket redemption thing we have, at least on the preset menu, is 75 tickets. Mm-hmm. Now, our games master, Ian, our team leader, says he reserves the right to have dynamic pricing, meaning he may come in one day and say, all right, I'm giving 200 tickets for anyone that achieves this today, and can drive some one-day excitement. Now, let me just pause for a second, step out of this strategy, this individual strategy, and just say that on our team, if you know your culture and your team's like ours, where people like to compete, we call this healthy competition. Nobody loses. Nobody's taking anything away from anybody else, but you can not win the contest or you can win less. Those always work for us. Historically, we have to be very careful with longer term competitions. We do really well in a one-day sprint, in a 1-week challenge. As soon as it goes beyond a week, we have to be careful because people can kind of lose sight, lose energy, lose the drive. Also, if there's only one winner, we can lose people that are like, well, I didn't get off to a great start and Grady's going to win. So why try for second or third place when it's not going to do anything? Now, those people sound like terrible team members. They're not. They are already working hard and incentivized by commissions and camaraderie of the team and service to our clients and all those things. But the added incentive often doesn't do as much for them if it's not structured well. So this was a rare, first time we've ever done a 7-week challenge. We've done year-long challenges, but I mean a sprint of this length. But we, I think, communicated it really well, meaning people understood you should already want to finish the year well. If you do, you can really enjoy a week or two of legitimate vacation, holiday enjoyment, knowing I did a lot to earn this. I can truly appreciate it. Instead of spending a week or two for the holidays or travel wondering, man, what's January going to be like? Man, I did not finish well. I don't know how the year's going to start. You can alleviate all that. You can solve all that by having a 6 or 7 or 8 week sprint. And again, you don't have to do this at year end. You don't have to do this for the holiday. You could do this to counter. Last episode was about, the cyclicality or the seasonality of your market. You could do it just because you have an off season. You could do it because you need the money. You could do it because you have some new team members that have some extra energy. This doesn't have to be a year end or holiday thing. That's just how we're using it. So that's our context. But you may also be looking for ways to create and drive some activity that's not normal. We put some things on there for our staff members who are not necessarily commission income people. They're almost all licensed. But the reality is you might have some people that don't normally go get reviews, and you've now given them an incentive to go get reviews and beef up your team reviews in a way from a place, from a group that you haven't been doing that. So you could have some incremental disproportionate growth because of that. You may have some people that don't normally do open houses because that's not an expectation or they don't really need to do it. But you can incentivize some additional in-person signs in communities, activity driving open houses. If there's something that you want to get your team to do more of that they're not normally doing, like engage on social media or get off of social media and engage on the dang phone or write handwritten notes or host an event or create other content, incentivize that with tickets. If you know right now you're like, my team would never do that, maybe you shouldn't do this. But if you're thinking my team would never do that because you have not found the right incentives for them, think about what are some prizes you could give. Could it be travel? Could it be cash? Could it be experiences? Could it be things for their children or their spouse or their church or a ministry? Could they trade tickets for giving that you would then give to an organization of their choosing? What are those things that would uniquely motivate your organization? Obviously, we are almost always talking to highly successful solo agents, beginner stage team leaders or team leaders who are looking to scale. So for most of you, this would absolutely work, whether it's just to motivate your administrative staff, your agents, or your larger scaling team of staff and agents, full-time, part-time, virtual, in-person, whatever. But there's some real results driving mojo that comes with a competition like this. Here's what I think some of the critical elements are. Planning ahead, making sure that people aren't like, oh, we're going to figure it out on the fly, but they know right out of the gate that you have an activity menu. You've got, these are the things, we call that a scoring system. We could have come up with a much better name. But these are the 20 things you can do to get tickets over the next 7 weeks. These are the things. From launch day, people can physically see. If you're not an in-person group, you could still set this up, take a photo, do videos. People could check in on it on a webcam or something, but go to the extra length of it being tactile, physical, visual, of like, ooh, I got that. Now that came off the shelf. I got that. Now other people can't get that. Or there's only 2 left or whatever that looks like.
And for us, we see this all day. The way it's all set up, you cannot walk into the office or through the office without seeing all the rewards. Yeah,
and there's been some fun byproducts. One of the things we have a bunch of are these little bitty dino eggs that you could get for your kid or your neighbor or just, for fun. It's like 2 tickets, which you could make 2 calls. A call's a ticket in our deal. You can make 2 calls, get 2 tickets, and go get a dino egg. You drop the dino egg in water, and in theory, it expands into a little spongy figurine dinosaur. Well, we didn't realize this when we bought 3 dozen of these things, but it takes 45 hours for the dinosaur to escape the egg, and then it grows to a 2.5-inch dinosaur figurine. Max.
Pretty exciting.
So we put it in a jar of water. We're all thinking it's going to be kind of silly, bring back the childhood, and it just took forever. Someone snuck in overnight and it was growing into a little purple dinosaur. Someone snuck in overnight and put a full-size Barney the dinosaur stuffed animal in the water jar that was 15 times the size of the dinosaur, and the office had a chuckle with it. The point is, it's creating all these little side shoot stories and competitions and head-to-head and group buying. There was a 4 bonsai tree set that Grady and Ian and I went in on a group purchase on, and now we're all slowly, not very patiently waiting for our bonsai seeds to sprout. Long. My guess is this will be a 5-year-long journey of manicuring and trimming and pruning our bonsais.
If they grow.
They will grow. Anyway, so that's the thing. What can you do of things that will leave the office and go home? Or if you don't have an office that will be redeemed and you're going to overnight it to your virtual team members, and they're going to be like, oh, this is really cool. I got it right away. And now it's on a Zoom meeting or it's a photo on a Slack channel. But just be thinking about how to custom fit this to your team. I don't think we need to take a ton more time on this. It's a simple enough strategy, but it will drive right away results. We got immediate uptick in calls and handwritten notes, in lunches with prospects. Some of this does need to be planned ahead, needs to be quantified. You get tickets for this, you don't get tickets for that. You can't go to lunch with your roommate or your girlfriend over and over and over and get tickets for that over and over and over. You only get it one time for each person. Social media posts, which ones qualify, which ones don't. In ours, you got certain points for likes and shares and engagements and comments and things. Think through the results you want to drive, incentivize those. Think through who's on your team, what would motivate them, what would create some excitement, competition, some sharing, some fun stories, and then think through the prizes that would uniquely motivate them. And then think through how you're going to track that over time, how you're going to redeem tickets. We did physical tickets, and then over a certain amount, we have a tally sheet. So just be thinking of how you may want to do this. If you want our total full playbook, it's pretty basic, but it's thorough. There will be a link near where you're seeing this video or hearing this audio where you can get in touch with us and request that. If you'd like us to help you implement systems like this, build a team with culture like this, recruit, train, create lead systems so that you can do something like this, also click a link to schedule some time with me. We can have a 15 or 20 minute phone call. I'll give you everything I can. I'll share everything I can to help you grow and implement systems like this in your business. And if you want, we can discuss what we do for our coaching clients and our mastermind members, or if you're local, our team members. So check that out somewhere near this video or this audio. Check out the episode from a week ago where we talked about really how to beat the seasonality in your market with this or things like this, but a lot of other strategy as well. Check out our episodes, subscribe, like this, leave us a review if this has been good for you. I'll talk to you on the next episode.